there, gorgeousness and superstars. It's finally summer. Are you excited for our next episode? Today we've got another pattern made easy and fun DIY just for you. For those who doesn't know me, I'm Joanna and welcome to my Ella Superstarr channel. If you like collectible toys and of course fashion dolls, this channel is just right for you. Are you ready to get crafty and have a blast? Now let's begin. So let's go back on the last episode, Mystery Gifts, and the Ivory Girls were planning their trip to Capri, Italy. And now guess what? They are really going there. Are you excited to see what adventures they will have? Woo! But little did you know that Capri was a place where the god walked through around its mountains, as its name, Pathway of the Gods. Derived from the ancient myths and the legends that suggest God walks his path to save Ulysses from the sirens that resided on the nearby islands. Capri is a picturesque island located in the Tyrrhenian Sea, famous of their picturesque streets, upscale shops, and vibrant pizzas and beautiful gardens. Isn't this such a fun and exciting adventure for the girls? Of course it is. However, the girls need some outfits, so I decided to create this summer dress look. I always keep my easy pattern paper handy as a reference when creating new designs. I'm still deciding on the style for my ivory dolls, but yesterday I watched the Balmain Spring and Summer 2024 collection and I was inspired by the beautiful details, ruffles, florals, polka dots, red floral motifs, and huge rosettes. Perhaps I'll create a polka dot halter top dress with ruffles. By the way, you can get this pattern from our blog on our website. Just follow the link in our description if you don't already have a copy. Earlier, I made some markings on this one because I reproduced a pattern, but today we'll enhance it. We'll use a pencil to retrace and create the broken lines parallel to the front dart. At the bottom, close to the waistline, we'll mark across about 3 centimeters and we'll do the same for the top back pattern. I use a clean sheet of paper to start tracing new patterns. First, I create a diagonal line from the top to the center bottom. Then I follow the blue lines across to form a bust dart. It's important to trace also the armhole section down to the bodice. Reaching at the end point, I need to rotate the paper and mark down towards the waistline. Afterwards, crossing again to the side sections, I use the tip of my pencil to rotate the paper once more and mark any missing point. Next, we'll trace the waistband at the lower part, starting from the top and moving across to the sides, then the lower sides, and finally along the bottom. It's super easy to do. We also repeat the same markings to the back pattern, but with a slightly different angle, as you can see on the process. Now, we'll trace the lower skirt, starting from the front pattern, begin at the center line and follow the entire blue line. Next, we will connect the back skirt pattern to the front pattern. This step is crucial for saving time and effort in creating the pattern, and it also ensures a beautiful silhouette once these parts are joined. Finally, the last pattern to trace is the top back area, which I connect to the front pattern to create a unified piece. I prefer a lower cut style as it adds a touch of chic and sexy appeal. Now we're almost finished. I use my triangular ruler to add seam allowances. Before finalizing, I ensure the lines are straight and mark the center front of the patterns precisely to ensure a perfect fit without any uneven lines. After examining the skirt pattern, I opted to transform it into an asymmetrical style. Therefore, I raised the upper front center and created a curved line that slopes lower towards the back. Next, I use a rubber eraser to remove any unnecessary lines. This ensures clarity while creating the pattern, as I prefer clean lines that make it easier to add markings or darts later. And now we eagerly begin to add 5mm or 0.5 cm seam allowances around the patterns. This extra allowance ensures the dress fits perfectly when sewn. Without it, the dolls might struggle to wear the dress comfortably. Et voila! The basic halter top dress is now complete. Although the bottom part of the skirt isn't finished yet, we'll cut a piece of fabric to add ruffles later on in this video. Be sure to write clear instructions on your patterns. This will help you cut the precise parts needed, ensuring accuracy and ease during the sewing process. Let's begin cutting the patterns. Ensure you cut carefully and keep the scissors close to the lines for a precise fit. This attention to detail will achieve a perfect fit for your final garment. At last, the patterns are finally cut. Are you ready for the next steps? By the way, fabulous friends and my superstars, our Ella Baxter doll is on a super summer sale. You can get her for 40% off until the end of July 2024. Don't miss out. Just go to our website and use the code Ella Baxter sale when you buy her. Now, let's jump back into our craft fun. For the final touch, I used my pattern notcher to mark the darts and important points. If you don't have one, you can also achieve the same effect by making small cuts with scissors at the edges to create notches. It is now all set and we are ready for the placement and cutting the fabrics, shall we? I have this beautiful black and white polka dot fabric all the way from the Philippines, and I'm finally putting it to use. After laying the fabric flat, be sure to iron it beforehand to remove any creases. Then fold it in half with the right sides together. Align the patterns carefully along the fabric's edge, starting from the marked center point. Secure the patterns in place with pins to prevent any shifting of fabric. Repeat this process for the waistband and the upper top pattern, pinning them securely in the center as well. Now let's cut the fabric. I also cut additional patterns for the top and waistline to create the lining. Using the prim pen marker, it's easy to mark the darts, and the ink also disappears within 40 to 72 hours of use. Once finished, we have several pieces ready to sew together. I'll begin sewing the bustier with both fabrics facing right sides together. Remember to sew the darts before assembling everything at once. Now the darts are in place, be sure to iron them flat. I'll use a small black grosgrain ribbon as the straps for this top while sewing both fabrics together. Here's how it looks. Having a lining makes it look really nice and neat. Repeat this process again. Next, we will attach the lower waistband, but first find the center front by folding it into half. You can then mark it with scissors or either use the prim pen for a hassle-free approach. Once everything is sewn together, it will look like this. I'll also sew the sides to ensure clean edges. Cut the excess fabrics. Now let's move on to creating the ruffle skirt. I measured and cut the fabric to be 6 centimeters wide by 30 centimeters long. Next, fold one side of the fabric to create the hem and the top part of the skirt, sewing it loosely to form ruffles. Pull the upper threads to create the desired ruffle effect, adjusting it according to the width of the skirt. Next, sew the darts and sides of the lower skirt. Additionally, attach an iron-on lining to the opposite side for clean edges and iron the darts flat. Attach the ruffle skirt at the bottom and it will look like this. Also, remove any unnecessary threads from around the skirt. Finally, we attach the upper part to the skirt. Before closing the back, I placed our Ella Superstarr label underneath the skirt. Once everything is securely attached, invert the dress to the right side. Now it looks like this. It already has a beautiful shape. To complete the full tutorial, we need to attach the closures. I always use bead and thread closures for this technique. If you are unfamiliar with this process, check out our previous tutorials by clicking the link above. And there you have it! And the dress is done.
Wow, what a wonderful time we've had together today, gorgeousness. Thank you for staying with us on this fun filled with heartwarming stories and fantastic crafts. We hope you've enjoyed every moment as much as we have, from crafting our own little masterpieces to diving into captivating tales. It's been an absolute joy sharing this time with you. Before you go, we have a little favor to ask. Could you please sprinkle some love our way by giving us a thumbs up, sharing the fun with your friends, and subscribing to our channel? That way, you'll always be the first to know about our latest stories and crafty creations. The excitement doesn't stop here. Be sure to stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll have even more enchanting stories and DIY adventures waiting just for you. So keep that smile shining bright, stay as gorgeous as ever, and until next time, bye for now.